There must be a certain amount of trepidation for people who have a disability but who feel they want to go to university. What would you say to somebody who's in that position?
I would say to any student who has a disability and is interested in studying at university, not to let that put you off or stop you, because there is support available at the University of Huddersfield. What we would do is link that student with a named advisor, so they would have one person that they could link with for the whole time they're here studying at the university. The advisor would work with the student and look at what the impact of their disability is on a day-to-day basis, and obviously how that's going to have an impact on their studies as well. So is it going to affect them in lectures and tutorials, or in their exams, or on placement, or travelling to and from the university, moving around the university, putting their assignments together, using the library, basically every single aspect of their studies. We'd look at that and we'd then work with the student on what's the best adjustments or the best support we could put in place for you. Now that might be that we make adjustments internally at the university, so things like additional time for exams, or the right to record a lecture, or extra time for borrowing books from the library, things like that. Or it might be that we actually work with the student on applying for a fund called the Disabled Students Allowance, which is the main source of funding and support in higher education for students. And one of the things that our students always tell us is they really value the support that we give them when they're applying for the Disabled Students Allowance, because it can feel like quite a daunting process. There's an application form they have to fill in, and then a needs assessment to look at what support they need, and then the support's put in place. But what we do is work with the student at every single stage of the Disabled Students Allowance process, so we wouldn't leave them in isolation or doing it on their own at any time, unless they wanted to be, obviously.
If somebody enrolls at university and they feel that they may benefit from the disability services, they may feel that, you know, they have a disability but they're not just sure, what should they do?
We'll always talk to students, whether they're current students or prospective students, if they are not sure whether they'd be eligible for the support through the disability services. We're more than happy to sit down and actually say, right, this is the kind of support on offer, and this is what entitles you to that support. This is how you qualify for the support, if you like. And we've done that with a number of students. And in some cases as well, if the students, particularly students who think they might have a specific learning difficulty, we can actually offer them an educational psychologist assessment, which will look in a lot of detail as to whether they do have dyslexia or another specific learning difficulty, and actually provide that conclusion for us and the evidence that we need as well.
We talked about academic support that students with disabilities can have. But is there any other form of learning support that we offer as well?
Yeah. In addition to the academic support and the adjustments that we'll make in teaching settings, library settings, etc., we also have a range of support workers who students may be linked with, and they might be people like dyslexia tutors, study mentors, British Sign Language interpreters, note takers, research assistants, library assistants, campus support workers. There's a wide range of support workers, and we actually recruit and support and train those workers within disability services. Also, the students may be able to have some equipment to support them in their studies. So that might be things like assistive software, so that might be read aloud software or speech to text software, magnification software. There's a massive range of assistive software out there. But it also might be ergonomic furniture or digital recorders, or all those kind of things to assist them in their studies. At the end of the process, when we know what academic support the students need, what support workers they need, what equipment they need, one of the things that the advisor will do is produce a document called a personal learning support plan, and that puts all of this together in one document that the students can access and the staff can access, so that that student support package is there, and we can make sure that support gets put in place for them in a timely fashion.
The University of Huddersfield, inspiring tomorrow's professionals.